Blessings and peace. Peace and blessings. Welcome back to day 33. I am Goddess Shatoya, and this is your learning lab. This is Triggered to Transform. And if this is your first day here, welcome to your tribe. If this is your 33rd day here, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. I hope you've had a great time. I hope that you have been on your journey long enough to know and understand how powerful you are and how mystical your mind is and how you can go from idea to manifested in a physical reality just by transforming your triggers. What's stopping you from getting there? I am so happy you decided to come back today. I have a little bit of coffee. I hope it's not cold again. I just warmed it up. It's ice cold. I'm not going to drink that. So, how are you feeling? Okay. All right. Yeah, of course. I have to ask about you because it's important that we slow down just a little bit, right? Because even in this space, I can get a little excited about what's going on and or be trying to get somewhere. And so I'm grateful for the moment to slow down and for you to check in, say what's up to yourself after all day. Is this the first time that you stopped to say hello to yourself? Well, make sure you're doing that on a reg. Just a minute to be like, hey, let me see what's going on with me. Well, good. I'm glad. On this 33rd day, if you can see, my window is dark, which means I'm recording at night. It is almost 1 a.m. And again, I have just gone with the flow that time is a continuum and giving myself grace because I'm managing more than one schedule. If this was just my schedule, I could really be more strenuous, if you will, with my time, but in comma, because I am responsible for getting things done for other people. I have to sometimes fluctuate my time to get the things done that I need to get done and prioritize, really prioritize what has to be done right now. And because of my choice to remain fluid within my own personal business, it's fine for me to come in here at this time when everyone has been taken care of. For the most part, all of my needs have been met. And this is, again, my hour to just reflect. Or 30 minutes in this case, because I would never keep y'all for an hour. I would never talk for an hour on here unless I'm in some type of interview with someone. But these personal reflection times, they are meant to be long enough for them to be impactful, short enough for them to be like, let me see how I can gain more of this knowledge, and to create a space for your own personal curiosity and research. And me coming in here is, again, the commitment that I've made to myself. And tomorrow morning, I'll probably go ahead and record my next video because my morning will be pretty much free. My to-do list for tonight, I set one out for my mom for tomorrow. She has 3 tasks on her to-do list, which I just get to manage, and I don't have to physically do anything. And then I, on my to-do list, have teas to blend and I need to take back my equipment that came today that was for the wrong device. Remember, oh no, you all don't know yet, but I ordered the microphone and the tripod and the lights and all those things. They came. I was so excited, and they were all for C-type, and I have a Apple device. So needing to return those things, and something else. I don't have my list out here in front of me tonight, but excuse me, what I'm aware of, excuse me, pardon me, y'all. What I'm aware of is that the more I allow myself to be free in this process, even when I've got to put some time structure in place, is that I love the way it feels to have a freedom of time, a freedom of being, a freedom of not having to conform to anything. And yesterday, during these talks, during these conversations, we talked about relational fragmentation and who we are being in the fragments of the relationships we see. What are our patterns of division? What do we notice in others' patterns of division that trigger us? Right? And so this week is really about the nervous system under oppression, when the nervous system can't breathe. And I told you all that we would look through this book as a kind of a guide so that we can even understand oppression from a different perspective, maybe, right? Depending on what you know oppression to be and how you identify with oppression. One of the main things that I remember from this book is the definition of oppression. So I will jump into that in just a minute. But today we're talking about returning to self, right? From a space of oppression to being presenced, from oppression to presence. And what is a practice that we can use to presence ourselves and to our situation. And in this conversation of oppression, what Pierre Freire, I call him Pierre. I do it every time, y'all. I've been doing it wrong. It's no disrespect to this man. I don't know. I don't know. Paulo Freire. I don't know what it is. But we heavily used this book when we were preparing to go to an international conference. But I want to just take a moment to give an idea about oppression, right? So 2 important challenges, according to Freire. He confronts 2 important challenges to the struggle for liberation, which is our freedom. The fear of freedom that inhibits the oppressed from acting to liberate themselves. I love that because it takes the idea that oppression is happening outside of us and shifts it right back into what am I doing? How am I acting in fear that inhibits my liberation? Returning to self. Returning to self, okay? Then the oppressed fear of freedom is in reality a defense measure. The oppressed, it's apostrophe S, that's taking ownership. Fear of freedom in reality is a defensive measure, an attempt to achieve security, which to the risk of your liberty. Okay? So we fear the freedom as a defense measure. Like, I'm safe here, right? Even though I feel very oppressed, even though my liberty and fear of freedom has inhibited my liberation, okay? There's some security in that, is what this is saying. So how do we move into returning to self and practicing presence, right? It goes back to what we just read. The challenge of the culture of domination means to confront the oppressor and the oppressor itself and destabilize the tacit social agreement under which they live. What are the social agreements that we live under that causes and allows us to oppress ourselves? Do I prefer conformity, where I need to act like everybody else says that I should act, who I should be? Or do I get to choose my liberty and be fact forward on who I am without oppressing another and remain in presence to myself? Honey, this book is so good. If you do not have Pedagogy of the Oppressed, this is the study guide. Please find it. And if you have the study guide and not the book, like me, we need to get that too. So, Freire frames this struggle for liberation within the philosophical question of what it means to be human. He poses the problem of the oppressed in moral terms, appealing to the Enlightenment idea that to be human is to be free to think and act autonomously. Becoming more fully human is our vocation as human beings. It is our birthright of all, regardless of social class, origin, ethnicity, or gender. So where do I see myself? How do I see myself in terms of social class, my origin, my ethnicity, and my gender? And how much of that has been oppressed in me? One thing we need to know about oppression is it is intentional. It is an act of violence. Oppression is an act of violence that creates the oppressed. Where am I distributing, organizing acts of violence against myself, and how am I doing that? And how does that translate into anything else that I see outside of myself? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I am just asking questions. You don't have to talk to me, but write it down. Write it down and go find out. Even if you feel like you don't know what it is that I'm talking about or what it is that I'm saying, stay present. Don't get sidetracked on the I don't understand, I don't know, Stay present, because the answers to these questions will reveal more about who you see yourself as and how you show up in the world and the impact that you're having on yourself and those that are closely in close proximity, I'll say, to you. Okay. A lot of Mr. Freire writing is on consciousness, us being able to determine from our conscious development this is so good that I'm getting ready to read. I'm going to leave us here in just a minute. It's two parts to this that I really want to lean into. We're talking about consciousness, so I'll start here first. And he says that the oppressed suffer from dual consciousness that complicates the effort that we're going to talk about in a minute. That although they desire authentic, they being us, authentic existence, we fear it. Where's that true in your existence? What part of you being who you are feels really scary? It feels really intimidating. It feels too big. But that's truly your authentic existence. Now, I am talking about this from a perspective of our existence isn't to hurt people, isn't to defile, isn't to cause harm in any way, shape, or form. If that is your consciousness, get help. Okay? Because that's not what we're saying. But if your authentic existence is to make a change within yourself, it's to support others, and however you decide to support others, you might do hair, you might do nails, you might do clothes, you might do cars, you might, whatever it is that you do, are you doing it from an authentic existence, or are you so afraid of seeing yourself that you would rather be oppressed and controlled by what something outside of you says about you? Okay, so the freedom of fear is one of the major obstacles to the liberation of the oppressed. Under conditions of oppression, men and women internalize the image of the oppressor and adopt his guidelines for behavior. Now, what the kids say, clock that T? That's the T right there. See, this is, okay, I'm going to keep going. They are fearful of the risk associated with abandoning those guidelines, those stigmas, that dogma, that way of being that isn't from your core, but from what you see outside of you that you are trying to tap into, that don't belong to you, that's not yours, put it back. Okay? They are fearful of the risk associated with abandoning those guidelines and assuming responsibility for your freedom. Back to self. Okay? Returning to self. The practice of, where's it go? Assuming responsibility for your freedom. Okay. Freedom is not a gift and must be won. At the same time, it is a fundamental value, the indispensable condition for the quest of human completion. That's mastery. Okay? The first step in educating the oppressed to fight for freedom is to help them critically recognize the specific causes of their oppression and discover within themselves the desire to be free. Now, I'm not making none of this stuff up. This book, let's go back up here and be sure, is from, I really wish, Paulo Freire, education for them, society. I'm looking for the year, and he may not tell me where I'm looking right here. Let me see if it's anywhere else. No. Okay, so I don't know what year this was written. I don't have my the copyright is from 2017, but I'm looking for the original publication date and I don't see it. So if I find that information, I'll put that out there. But this book is old. This is not new information. Yeah, that's all I really want to say. It's not new information. And while I don't know the exact point of reference for this book in the moment, because I don't have my bibliographies and my things with me, I'm not gonna go there. It's a trap. All right. But the information that we're talking about here has been covered over a span of decades, centuries, millennia. And it's really about releasing what it is that we think we know and opting in for another perspective, for just another perspective, not trying to change your mind, but just open up a curiosity to ask more questions about what it is and why it is that we feel the way that we feel, and what is it that I've learned that is not really resonating with me. This is just a perspective. Now, do I happen to agree with this perspective and see this as science in what it is that I've studied and the people that I am around and get to, live with in the sense of my community? Yeah, I agree 100%. And until we do something about it from an internal level, it's not about self. Everybody's like, it's self-care, yeah, because if you're not tapped into what it is that you believe, and you believe that everything outside of you is care and love, you're going to miss it. You are going to miss it. This is an opportunity not to miss it, and it being your freedom. It being your nervous system at rest. It being you, presence to you. All right, before we get our bags packed to leave Auntie's house, we are going to practice one presence. We've done one earlier this week where we slowed down and talked about our breath. But sometimes to bring about that presence is to sit inside of the breath. But it's also an opportunity to do something that you like, something that you enjoy, right? So for me, I have pens and paper all the time, generally speaking, I'll say, and I'll doodle. I'll give myself a few minutes. One of my favorite things to do, and it doesn't sound like such a presencing activity, but it really is. I am a huge wanderer. I love to let my mind go. I am, what did they call me in school? I would just look off in the distance, like they would be like, you're in La La Land. Like, I would just go and create these worlds that was far away from whatever it was that I was experiencing. And that was like a space within me. That was a presencing practice, because once I'm out of that, I'm like, oh, what happened? Oh man. A daydreamer. That's what I was trying to say. I'm a daydreamer. I have to let myself daydream sometimes. Sometimes the presence is allowing yourself to laugh, to giggle, to be in the moment, to see something that may not be funny. That may not be funny for real, but you gotta take a kiki at it. Right? Presencing for some of us may be polishing our nails. Right? To do something that is taking the moment in the right now. You gotta do that action over and over. Putting your feet in grass for at least 30 seconds, a minute. Yes, connecting to the ground, to the frequency of the earth. Sitting still. Focusing on the breath, of course, but feeling what's going on inside of your body. Just sitting still. Then I'll say a body scan. Intentionally moving your focus from the tips of your toes up through your legs and hitting each of the chakras. The root chakra, sacral chakra. Right? You like put your attention there. Solar plexus. And breathe, release, calm it down, and see what you're feeling inside of your body. Take a deep breath and release it. Right? All of these things that I've named doesn't involve anybody else. It's okay to have people around you, but really take a moment to liberate yourself and find your own sense of freedom throughout your day, more than one time of day. Don't wait on anybody to give it to you. It is yours. I don't care where you are, at work, at the train station, at the airport. You take a moment to presence yourself. Oh, I left one off the list. Gratitude. Write down 3 to 5 things in the moment that you are grateful for. I am grateful for the time to do this. I'm grateful for the 3 minutes in my day that I get to breathe. I am grateful for the 7 minutes in my day that I could let my mind wander. Let me write that down. What am I creating subconsciously that I'm not even invested in? Like, I won't even give it any stock. It's self-examination, self-mastery. All right. Y'all know I could just go. But I'm gonna shut it down because tomorrow is another day. I haven't done any record. I might still not, but income, I just want to put it back out there that to incorporate some of my day. Oh, let me show you all this before I go. Hold on. This is our candle, our prosperity candle. I am goddess. Goddess is all I am. I am the many. I am the one. I am goddess. Goddess is all I am. I am the many. I am the one. I am goddess. Goddess is all I am. I am the many. I am the one. And I'm sharing this with you because this is a prosperity candle that is personal and community, and for the community at large. And so if you are working through your abundance and highlighting prosperity during this new moon energy and the first of the year, much abundance and peace, prosperity, love, life, and light to you. All right. You be well, and I will check you out on day 34, where we get to share one nervous system win. This is the integration process, and we will be talking more about it on day 34. Now, I forgot. I almost forgot. Do not forget. You don't forget because I forgot to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Excuse me. And we'll see you again soon. All right. Be well.